In this bulletin, OEMs react to patents held in Russia. One of the largest remanufacturers opens its doors to the public, and a cute tear-shaped printer gets set to walk. Hello, I'm David Gibbons and here is the news. Original printer manufacturers, or OEMs, have come out saying a report given on inTouch News last week is wrong. Last week we quoted a correspondent from Russia saying the sale of clones are permitted in Russia because the OEMs do not hold patents there. Clones are cartridges which are newly made, look and work exactly the same as the OEM product, but are typically poorer in quality and infringe the patents of the OEMs. HP contacted inTouch News and I quote, "HP has a number of patents granted in Russia that cover many of our most popular products. Patents of the same nature and calibre as what HP has been granted and has enforced in other countries." A response from Lexmark also says, and again I quote, "Lexmark does have issued patents and patents pending for toner cartridges in Russia. It would be greatly appreciated if you can help clear up any misunderstanding." One of the world's largest remanufacturers moved to a new mega site 8 weeks ago, and this week they allowed Recycling Times cameras to come in and look around. The multi-million-dollar enterprise includes factories to make Phantom printers, to remanufacture monochrome and colour laser and ink cartridges, and to make brand new non-infringing cartridges. Stage 1 includes 3 buildings totalling 450,000 square metres and dormitories for thousands of factory workers. The giant lobby leads off to a sci-fi looking museum of past printers and new, with a holographic representation of new technologies of the future.
First, this is China's head office will be here, and also our worldwide R&D center. We have about more than 1,000 engineers working here.
There is plenty of room to expand on the site as the 9-Star Group expects to see the printing consumables and hardware industry continue to grow.
You know, the remanufacture is environmental friendly for sure. The government worldwide they encourage this industry. Other reason is it can save the users' printing cost, which is very good for the customer.
Last week came the news that HP has paid out more than $100 million in penalties for bribes in Russia, Mexico and Poland. But this week HP is in the news again, but for different reasons. HP has hosted a 2-day anti-counterfeiting conference in Johannesburg to confront the problem in Africa. In the last 5 years in Europe, Africa and the Middle East, HP has conducted around 1,600 investigations. This has resulted in 1,300 enforcement actions and 11 million units of counterfeit products and components being seized. As the global trade in counterfeit goods continues to grow, Africa has become a target for counterfeit merchandise. The 2014 summit saw HP working with other big label brands like Unilever and Nike to tackle the criminal activity together. An Israeli hardware company are putting excitement back into the print industry by making a mobile robot that drops ink into a page as it rolls over the top. A bit like a road surface maker putting white lines onto the road. The Zuta is just a prototype at the moment, but its makers have raised half the capital needed to get it into production. Part of the idea is to make the printer small enough to be mobile, yet able to print on large pieces of paper. The designers of the tear-shaped Zuta hope to start production in 2015, and it will probably sell for around $200. It's estimated that 10% of world trade is made up of pirated and counterfeited imaging products. According to IT Web, an HP study reveals there is a $3 billion loss to counterfeiting alone. A notable shift in the printer consumables market in Central and Eastern Europe is due to the increase of patent infringing clones. Market analyst group IDC say penetration in countries like the Ukraine or Romania is still relatively small. But IDC estimates that in Russia, Poland, the Czech Republic and Hungary, clones represent nearly 1/3 of aftermarket shipments. Printberry and Computech are leading distributors of remanufactured and OEM consumables for laser and inkjet printers in Austria, Switzerland and Germany. Now they have also become official distributors of the memjet-powered C6000 series of printers. Supplying millions of tablet PCs from Turkey to Eastern Europe, the Middle East and North Africa has been very successful for HP. So now the company is planning to set up a printer and cartridge factory in Turkey as well, according to Balkans News. Each of the 575 member companies of the Illinois-based Tri-Mega Association turn over millions of dollars worth of office products, computer supplies and office furniture. This week, the US-based remanufacturing giant MSE was appointed as an approved supplier to the association members. And MSE's Mark Dawson says long-term business cannot be based on price. In Recycling Times magazine this month, he reflects on the crazy prices being offered on cartridges. And you can read more about Mark Dawson's views in this month's Recycling Times magazine. Go to irecyclingtimes.com. Well, those were the top stories this week. Thanks for watching. See you again next week. I'm David Gibbons.